I have a couple of questions before I begin. I'll start by introducing myself, but we won't waste time. Thank you very much for the intro. I do not consider myself an actor. I've been pulled into a couple of plays, and apparently they went well. So I guess in Trinidad I'm now an actor. But it will all tie back to what I'm coming to. The things that you spend your time doing will, after a period of time, become your legacy and how people will come to know you. But I am one of a very unique pair. The other gentleman's name is Rondell Benjamin, and I originated from university just like you will originate and go off to do your own things. I left UE and I went down, went to martial arts, a couple of years doing different stuff, Japanese thing. So you know what? I'm from Trinidad. Why do these Chinese people and these Russian people think? What is we have here? From the countryside, originally from Point 14, you see 2-3 men Bois and thing, you say, alright. So went down to Moruga. Everybody know what Moruga is? Yeah, Moruga people in the house. Right? Going down all the way to Moruga. Right? And I'm going by these ruffians, these roughnecks, these rude boys, these rangutangos, and say, hey, look now, I'm doing all this stick fight thing, man. You know what I say, right? Fool! You not do this thing yet. So that's about 5 or 6 years ago, Benji and I went down to learn the art of calendar, which is properly termed or called. We went to learn stick fight. 6 years later, it's been quite a journey. The lessons that I have learned, or we have learned and are learning, I'm here to share some of it with you. We established a group called the Bois of Trinidad and Tobago, which has a very unique purpose. To research Afro-Trinidadian culture as it relates to calendar in particular, to immerse ourselves. So we ain't talking about reading a book in the library, we're going to sit down with the dictionary, we're going to eat with them, we're going to line with them, we're going to sleep by them, eat. So the saying is that you wouldn't go and buy it anyway. We had to eat that because all of these brethren, when you start getting into our community, you start becoming part of the community. So evolution was critical. We now recognize that discussion of the information about calendar is important. So forums like this will come and talk about stick fight, because most people think stick fight is just this percentage as happening from some punching drinkers. I'm here to tell you it's more technical and it's much more beautiful than that. So that is what the journey is about. And ultimately our last objective is to, how should I say, the masters who taught us, the 70-year-old men who have carried this culture from 19 long to now. Our journey is to bring their names in front of young minds like yourselves, that you will know who Congo Bahar is, you will know who Kali Swamba is, you will know who Stokely. So the gentleman shaking his head, I know some of these names sound familiar. We will tell those stories. Christopher Laird, anybody knows that name? Dr. Christopher Laird. He's the founder of everybody with a banyan, or Gaia TV. He, to me, and to many people in Trinidad and Tobago, is considered one of the greatest directors, filmmagraphers in Trinidad and Tobago. He's a wealth of knowledge in terms of he's interviewed everybody from Sparrow and Arab. He has archives on everybody in Trinidad. That is of any worth. And he decided to approach Rondell Benjamin and myself to do a film. But this film wasn't like we were going to be actors. It was just literally like, you know, watch on MTV, supposedly scripting their life, or they were following us for 3 years and followed our journey through learning stick fight into the competition. We performed very well in the competitions, came second in the National Stick Fight Championships 2 years running. We decided not to compete this year for various reasons. So why am I here? How does this all relate to the issue at hand? I'll begin by asking 2 questions. Can someone please tell me what masculinity is and what does that mean? We need an Oxford Dictionary definition.
No, not Oxford, a reader's definition.
Yeah.
The 100 course readings that everybody have available on my list.
Yeah, here's what I'll challenge you to do. When I am in front of the class for the brief time, just free up. Masculinity is when a man does. You know what I mean? Yeah, relax. What is masculinity to you? And I want some of the females and the males to tell me what masculinity is to you. Don't polish it. That's what you feel about it. Or should I say what you expect it should be? What does it mean to you? Can I have some hands, please? Come on, guys, not all at once. Slow down.
An ideology of man's roles and various
Ideology. Anybody else? One gentleman. Yes, mama. Yes, ma'am.
See, man, with free now. To me, masculinity is not just like the social construct that we read about it. It's a lifestyle, it's an attitude that we men portray. It's like a performance where society is the ultimate stage.
Let's hear it. Very nice. I like that. Ideology. Stage. So I'm in front here today and I'm expected to sound like I know what I'm talking about. I'm expected to know how to talk to people in English and give you all something that you will go home with. So this is the stage. Masculinity to me is partially about expectation. And I'm going to go into examine masculinity. I'm going to start my discussion and say, I am stalwart. Does anybody know what that cool word means? Stalwart. Again, it's an idea or an idea. Yes? Did you all hear what she said? Because I'm really glad she said it because I was looking for the dictionary to give you all the exact meaning, but I like what you said. Can you repeat? The Laura, please. Good. Right. So I am a stick fighter. I come from a tradition hundreds of years old. Yes, me, Keegan Taylor, stand up in front of you here. We used to go the way. Sing soca and all kind of thing. Shoot and tie job, and I go on and do things. And I am a stick fighter. I am stalwart. There is an expectation of to perform and to do certain things as a stick man. Anytime you meet a stick fighter anywhere, he say, see me, woman, me stick man, which means something different from, you know, on the block, see I is a man. I is a man and they grab something, you know what I'm saying? Stick man different. And he believes himself as such. So I'm going to answer 4 questions. We're going to look at 4 areas. Who, what, where, and why. Who is a stick fighter? A stick fighter could be anyone. But the difference is I have chosen. I've chosen to take this. I didn't bring a stick today to my car. I always walk with one just in case. Anything that happens, my dog can run across the road. As I have chosen this instrument, this stick, to walk into a guy and to see a next man and say, yes, bust my head, I do not bust back yours. And there's a game. In this game, there's a culture around it, and I as stick man, have chosen to become part of that ritual, that game, that dangerous game. I have chosen that willingly. As the who. What is a stick man or a stick fighter? A stick fighter, one, he's a warrior. He is your own iconic figure, similar to the samurai in Japan. Because if you research Kambule play, you would hear about Joe Tamina, who would have led the rats against Captain Baker in 1888. Just around that period, that gave you your carnival right now. That some may say carnival just a one in a brand, but it's far more than that. The stick fighter fought for that for you. So that's the what. Another aspect of the what is he is a protector. The stick fighter in every village considered himself, and I can call areas as such: Moruga, Talparo, Kuva, Mayaru, Point Fortin. Consider themselves protectors. Right? And ultimately, a part I'm going to come back to, a stick fighter considers himself stalwart. See, this stick fighting I was the baddest in that, and every one of them the same. And I had to prove it every time I step in the ring. Every time. That's the what. The why. That's I was getting so many time. Why you play stick, boy? My mother didn't know I was playing stick until 3 years into it. I couldn't tell her. So the why. I have something to prove. As a man, I have something to prove. It's a funny thing that nobody could really articulate. The why of it is because I love the game. Now I have football, I have basketball, and I have all kind of other cool things that I wouldn't get my head busted. But as a stick fighter, I can communicate to you that there's a feeling where you have a stick in your hand and this man trying to bust your head and he breaks and you hit him back, bam! There's a rush that comes over you. It's not for everybody, right? For everybody. In another discussion, I will discuss that stick fight is more just about ritualized violence, which it is. So we've discussed the who, the what, the why, and the where. The where is obviously the Gaia. The Gaia is the space where everybody comes around and is saying, team man, team man. You know your stick man, drum beat, and you catch the vibes and you That's Gaia, like when you see the drum singers, the chant, well as the singer, he's in charge. When I reach down in this space and I come from where I come from, Talparo, and then I'm going to meet them stick man, them from Kush and Kuva. Me and my boys then. I had the whole of Talparo on my back. And his man can't get caught. Caught. Is that? But guess what? The man from Kuva saying the same thing.
Why you can't come, man?
Hot everybody. Who will I win that battle for stalwart? Because I'm stalwart, but so is he, and so is he, and so is he. I name man. That's what I'm saying. So this is the way. The other way is obviously society. The stick fighter, I heard you use that term that's very interesting in the studies about anthropological studies. My school word. About the stick fighter is he is of the lower class of the community. And the time is limited to can't give you all of that, but the fact of the matter is he is considered as such. Right? He has to play out this stage in life. I just play stick. I don't have no money. As a criminal. So where's my situation here? Society, this classroom. If I came dressed the way how most stick fighters come, or some of them, not all, you say, we want to go. But they see I'm out of that glasses, the most stick way. He married that book up. Lastly, very important, masculinity and its impression on being stalwart and vice versa. Being stalwart and its impression on being masculine. First stick fighter being stalwart, being I the man, I name Bois man, I name stick man, is we have a code of conduct. Every stick fighter. You know the samurai have the Bushido code and all that. Stick fighter is he has his code as well. Beauty in the face of death. Simple. And that impacts how I integrate with family, with women, with society, and my God. Very quickly, my God is me and him. We have a song goes, I live in alone. I live in alone in the jungle. I live in alone. I live in alone in the jungle. I live in alone in the jungle. Snake and lion, hard to humble. I live in alone. I live in alone in the jungle. That means it's just me and Jack. I have no friend. I don't be friendly on my own. So we have our understanding as man who my relationship with the Creator is. To family and to the society, I am protector. So I had to get through. I had to do. My teacher, King Kali, would mention, my child crying, it had no food on the table, my wife bawling, she said, don't play that game, I dreamed you're dead last night, where you going? But I believe I had to go all day. I had to go all day and we fell it. Where's the it? Next time we will talk about the it. And finally, we can discuss, because there are many impacts of my being stalwart upon masculinity, my interrelationship with women. Me name Bois man, me name King. So that means there's an impact on how I interact with women, obviously. To wrap it all up, I will offer the reversal. When it was Spider-Man, great power comes great responsibility. Right? When you're a stick fighter, you know all kind of things. First of all, you're playing a deadly game, it changes your brain chemistry. Straight up. You teach yourself to go at a man with a stick with skill and take lash and be hit. You're not an average human being here. Whether you start off average, you're no longer average when you decide to do certain things with yourself and with your life, willingly. That kind of power, absent of guidance and a proper self-image, you are going to get the result of which my brother spoke about here, the degradation into the lower aspects of society. I have all this power, I have all this confidence, I have all this strength, I have all this masculinity, misguided because my father didn't really show me. The rest are stick man and some of them is bandit. All this power, all this energy. What am I going to do with it? I don't play stick coming for you backward. So those are the reversals, not every stick man. Because even the ideals I just spoke about earlier on are one of our friends before he's called it the actual level of stick man. For some reason we first state as like in that gun. You 22 caliber stick man, 38 caliber stick man, the 45 caliber stick man. 45 being the highest echelon, the one who embodies the ideals I spoke about before. But the ones who do not embody such ideals and go the other way, because I'm not going to just promote stick man one way. Masculinity also has a reversal, another side when we have all this male power and expectation, we don't meet it. So the Bois Academy, finally, our job is to take these stick men, Tobago and all of these guys and take the culture. And we are taking young men and showing them again the discipline aspect. Taking men and fathers to mentor them. I will mentor too, you will let them teach and talk to us. And we're passing back on the tradition of calendar or using calendar, that discipline. Not the bossing head, but how to learn to dance, how to learn to defend, how to listen. The drum, take the culture and re-educate our young men because they don't have a lot of examples of male heroes, fathers, teachers, and superheroes. So that is my contribution. I hope that it was useful. Thank you very much.
Good, next,